Yes, I'm back, wearing the same clothes that I wore in the Catching Fire movie review discussion thing because I filmed this right after that. This is going to be a pre-filmed video because I'm running out of time to film, but let's get to it. Today I will be reviewing The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, and this was published this year. It is part of a series, 7-book series, I'm pretty sure. And I think the series is just called The Bone Season. The Bone Season is a fantasy novel set during the year 2059, where there are clairvoyants, and they live in the city called Sion, London. And it follows this girl named Paige Mahoney, who is a dream walker. She basically can go through people's mind and get information from it. And then one day she commits treason and she gets caught by the group of people who are down to hunt clairvoyants because they are not part of the community. They are considered unnatural, and most of them go into hiding or work for the criminal underworld, based at the Seven Dials. And in the Seven Dials, there are seven people with different abilities, and she's one part of the seventh. Anyway, she ends up getting caught and going to this different place, where she learns that there is another species amongst them, and she needs to figure out how to save herself and the people in that place, whilst escaping. Sounds like a lot? Yes, because this novel is very complicated. I still, to this moment, I don't know if I've retained enough information, if I even understood enough of the information to even talk about the novel, or remember anything that was happening during the reading that I did. Let's start off with Paige. She is probably one badass character, another female badass character, which I think is making a mark on just novels these days. You see a lot of badass characters that are rising, through Katniss, and that's probably the only person I can think about now because I just talked about Catching Fire. But Paige is a character who I think I liked. I liked that she had her own stance. She was strong, but at the same time she made so many mistakes, even though she was intelligent, and that made her relatable a lot more because she, it comes down to the fact that she's human. The other characters in the novel I don't think I really grew to be attached to, besides Warden, and you'll meet him in the novel as well. He is you could say the romantic counterpart of her, and that's probably one part of the novel I didn't really enjoy because I didn't feel that it was realistic enough for the relationship to develop. It was nice that at least Warden had that emotion to him, but as a 7-book series, I think they will have enough time to develop over the series, so I'm not going to fault that one in this series. It's just that it feels like we're being forced to accept that already, and this was my emotion of being shoved down our throats, even though I didn't even say that. My mind says something and my mouth says something else. I liked The Bone Season. I didn't fall in love with it. I don't know if I held a lot of high expectations for it. I picked it up because it was free. That's why I picked it up. I read it. It's a dystopian. Yes, it's a dystopian setting. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And the setting, like the world around it, is a lot more complicated than what you think. There is layers and layers of just worlds that are built around this place. And then when she goes to the other place, that world is a lot bigger as well. And that's what I found I struggled to read. I struggled to read past the first, probably 100 pages, just because there was so much information being thrown at me. I couldn't collect it all. I just pushed through, and even now I still don't think I've retained enough information about the clairvoyants. I don't really understand how they work. I know that they have special abilities, that they probably have magical powers, but I don't understand how their mind works. I don't even understand how Paige's ability sort of like works. You pick it up throughout the novel. You understand how she begins to lose her, like she can detach herself from her body and go and see people's dreams, but it takes a while to understand that. And same goes for the other abilities. So you have like different people, like you've got the common ones, which are the soothsayers, so the seers, you know, they can see the future and stuff, but they have to connect with the aether, and the aether is the you know how people sometimes think that there's heaven and hell, but they believe that there's an aether, and that's where we originate from. It's a light that you can see, and that's where they draw their power from, and soothsayers have to connect with that in order to tell the fortune. But Paige is one of the jumpers, and she's a rare type of clairvoyant. She's a dream walker. They don't even need to use the aether. Her ability becomes a lot more powerful than what she realizes, but she's able to use that for better things, and she learns to do that, which I liked, because it adds to her growth development. Like what I said, you have to push on quite a bit. If you're not the type of person who likes being shoved with all this information, I find that you won't be able to enjoy probably the first 100 or so pages. Afterwards, the writing does flow freely. You get information in chunks a bit more, so it doesn't feel like you're being bombarded. So that's an iffy part of the novel, I guess. I think like Samantha Shannon tried to sort of build her world really fast so that she could get into a plot, which doesn't really work as well as she maybe thought that it could work. But once the plot started moving on, the novel, like the story, got better. It was pretty exciting in some parts. Like there is a lot of action in here. Just when Paige battles like a couple of weird things, like supernatural stuff that happens, and you get to have like flashbacks to Paige's like memories, like what happened in the past, and how she realized she got this power, how she entered the criminal underworld, who she met in the criminal underworld and such, which gives a lot more depth to her character. She's not 2D as much as what she started out with. I liked that Samantha Shannon worked really well in describing the different creatures that exist in the world. I could see those like supernatural beings, and I could see the world that they existed in. Not so much in Sion, London, because there was so much going on there, and I was just like, whoa. But I could see the other world a lot better. I enjoyed it, and the ending ended off with a pretty like big cliffhanger. So I'm willing to give the second book a shot. I will be waiting for it to come out. So that's why I found that I wanted to do this review, just so you guys could like, you know, take a look at it yourself and sort of read it to see how you feel about it. I would probably give this a 3.5 out of 5 stars, just because of the beginning, and how I felt like I was engaged, but I wasn't really in love with the novel. There's a lot more that could happen. There is potential in this series, and that's why I am willing to give the second book a shot as well, to determine what I feel about the series overall. But do give it a shot if you haven't already. You probably like it. Fantasy fans, dystopian novel fans and stuff, you'll probably like it, I guess. I do like fantasy, but we'll have to see. Just because it's a series that is pretty long, you know, you can't narrow your thoughts down to just the first book. It's made a pretty good impression though, so yeah. I'll see you guys sometime soon. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.